I think it's exciting, but I've worked on an assumption over the years that government are wasteful and fraudulent and very, very harmful. So that's the nature of government. But obviously that doesn't mean everybody's that way. And sometimes it doesn't, it gets out of control. And our founders intended the government to be very, very small, but they also warned if the people weren't a moral people, the thing wouldn't work. I think that's where we are now. So there's a lot of waste, fraud, and deceit that goes on, and the wastefulness is so bad. I think that we've gotten away with it for so long. We go through periods, we have ups and downs, booms and busts. But I think this one is probably bigger than going on, and it's so bad that people are willing to even listen to what the administration is doing. There was a major change in the administration, and I think that's symbolic of the danger that we're in, and that this downturn, which we're in the middle of, but a lot of people don't admit to, is going to be a lot worse than they've had before. It may even prompt a serious consideration for having a different reserve currency in the world, and maybe more and more people will be giving up on the dollar, which would be a very dangerous situation.
Well, I want to actually talk to you about that and circle back in a moment. But first, you've shared that bureaucracy is really the result of ignoring the US Constitution. Can you share what you mean by that?
Well, I for a lot of times in Congress, I would ask the other members, well, Article 1, Section 8 is pretty important. The founders thought they wanted to make it clear on what authority they were given to the federal government. So Article 1, Section 8 does that. And then they said, if we didn't mention it, you don't have it. The powers we didn't mention, the 10th Amendment says everything goes back to the states and to the people. And boy, that's not complicated at all. And just think of all these agencies and what they've been doing and what's been exposed with this revelation. I mean, it's been so bad for so long that probably, I think 80% of what the federal government does is technically probably unconstitutional. So a little bit helps. And I think that we have a long way to go to get the American people to understand that major changes have to occur. I'm delighted at the discussion, say, on education. They're talking about not just, I don't like it when they tinker around the edges and cut 20% and say, see, we're moving along. But the principle still remains there. Right now, we hear talk about how did the federal government ever get control of our educational system? And I consider that so important because I think that's where so many people are misled in history and economics and the work. So I think there's some good things happening, but I also think there's some bad things that could happen if we don't get this thing straightened out.
Well, we're supposed to have checks and balances. So, how did we get to a place where there's all this reckless spending that's been brushed under the rug and not audited for so long when we're supposed to have agencies specifically dedicated to auditing, right?
Well, I think in a way the market has benefited us when we were blessed with a very very wealthy country, resources and all, and and we had a lot of license because we ended up after World War II with the legal aspect of counterfeiting money for the world, and the temptation was there, and we in this country did it. So, oh yeah, people have this idea that we're powerful now, we should police the world, and so we became the policemen of the world, and people did it with a good feeling. We're tough and we run things and we're wealthy, and we still are probably the wealthiest country in the world. But people are realizing it's unfortunately all based on debt. And people are starting to wake up to realize that that can't go on forever. So it was the good part of freedom that produced a lot. The production that occurred in this artificial economy that was fed with artificial money. I think it was hiding the problem. if we'd have had to pay for everything that we've used, if we'd have had to pay for, say, all the wars we've been in, there'd have been a lot less wars. So, the wealth that we had and
Mhm.
the ability to have a military and the ability to have the reserve currency in the world was a big temptation for the politicians, and the people liked it too. The more you promise, the more we'll vote for you. And both parties have been, very good at spending money and offering more stuff to the people. They're still
Okay.
trying to do it, but right now they're running out of steam, and that's why I think this year is going to be different and is already different than ever before because we're getting something done that I've been arguing forever, especially with the Fed. Audit, audit, audit. Let's find out what they're doing. It's a shame that it's gotten this far. That's the biggest, the most important thing we can do is to continue with these audits that Leon and Trump have been doing. This is good.